Okay, forget about the cost. We are family. And I've got the brother and sister with me. Ooh, 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 ooh. So, The Jolly Monkey is an Asylum production that is currently on Tubi. It was written and directed by Ryan Ebert, who wrote Shark's Eye of the Moon. Actually, considering the dearth of films that the Asylum has been involved in, Shark's Eye of the Moon at least had a little bit of fun with its premise. I mean, it's called Shark's Eye of the Moon. You gotta do something with it. Also, there were no sharks in this movie. That's right, the Asylum decided to get away from the Sharknado, Shark's Eye of the Moon, all the other amphibious, gill-possessing individuals to have a saying at the Jolly Monkey Hotel that is named around the Jolly Monkey. You know, the monkey that has the symbols and does Grandma and Grandpa own it, and then somebody dressed up like one of those monkeys, not like the evil monkey that lives in Chris Griffin's closet. It was a good running gag for a while. But anyway, after an opening, we flash forward to where the Blythe family gathers, and, well, this is going to take a lot to basically fix up the goddamn Jolly Monkey Hotel, because it's apparently beaten off the beaten path. That's the term that I meant. Strike that, reverse it, and most of the people involved in this production want to get rid of the hotel, sell the land, and move on. One person doesn't. And yeah, you're building a mystery because the, mask-wearing monkey, stabby thing is back. Back and better than ever. Trying to do something. Actually, it's very obvious what's going on because they're not building a mystery. No Sarah McLachlan going on here. No In the Arms of an Angel. We just have your standard, taking itself way too seriously slasher movie about somebody wearing the symbol monkey mask and killing people. If you're gonna have something that silly, don't take yourself so bone serious. I'm sure everybody had fun making this, from the cast to the crew. I wish them no ill will. Nothing at all. I knew what I was getting into when I hit play on this, but the fact that this was like a 90-minute movie and it had about 40 minutes worth of material is definitely not a testament to how, well made this ended up being. I mean, I knew what was going to happen, and I didn't hate it. I found it mostly boring. The reveal was super goddamn obvious. I mean, it is what it is. If you're going to have a quick shoot, I assume that's what this was. I assume that things came together rather quickly, and the Asylum said, yeah, we'll put a few bones towards it. It was what it was. It is not the most offensive thing that I've seen this year. It's one of the more boring things I've seen. Not one of the most boring. I will take this over Piglet and over Match and over Woods and Ash. I will take this over a lot of the dearth of movies that I have seen, Tubi originals or otherwise, that I've seen on that. But it is still very obvious where it's going and does have a pretty comical conclusion. The cast does what they can. I think Courtney Falk was fine as Jenny. And that being said, I'm going to get into spoilers. So it's on Tubi if you want to check it out. Evil Monkey Beware, 3, 2, 1 spoilers. So there you go. Boom. We're going to go with that. Just in case you didn't hear the noise, that's the noise. We are in the full spoiler territory. So we have a family that pulls off at the Jolly Monkey Hotel. The grandparents are doing this, and they have a monkey wall for people, for children to take pictures with the monkey and everything. And they have a log, and then suddenly somebody in a monkey mask and a monkey outfit kills the parents, and then ends up killing the girl, or does she? This acting and dialogue is what I note. I don't even think they're necessarily bad actors, and it's delivered weirdly. It's like the audio's piped in from like a different state. But it is what it is. You are so insufferable was one line that stuck with me because, yeah, pretty much all these characters are insufferable. We have Marshall, not Marshall Mathers, Naren Winter. I guess we're nearing winter technically here, as I'm recording this. Har har. And again, Courtney is fine as Jenny. They're actually the two main people we focused on. There is Deborah, who is their mother. There is Stephen, who is the dad. And Deborah doesn't want to sell off her grandparents' hotel and everything. Others are kind of waffling on it because they said, well, we could pour money into this, But it wasn't even doing that well in its prime, so we're not sure about this. There's an Aunt Linda, and there's a few other characters, such as Greg, not Greg the office boy. No, shrieking Jim Cornette Ring of Honor noises. And he wants to, possibly sell it out from under everybody, give people their payoff, but make off with most of the profits. And, well, after a little bit of opening, a little bit of setup, we find the toy monkeys and all this stuff. We find, one that has a weird face on it. Almost looks like flesh or leather. And the uncle gets offed when he goes to get more wine because the monkey you killer just happened to show up. And also the evil monkey was the evil symbol monkey was in the trunk. This it's just kind of dull overall. I mean, it doesn't take too long to remember it's a horror movie, but then, after the opening's admittedly all right. And then it just dissolves into being your standard slasher. The mother wants to look for the old China set, the fine China set, before Aunt Linda gets a hold of it. Chop, chop. Greg wants to sell it. Greg ends up getting killed, and his face ends up getting cut off. Kind of hilariously, I might add. And the uncle gets his face cut off. All this stuff's going on. Aunt Linda saw something bad when she was younger, at this place. The basement's locked, by the way. And saw some bad shit going on down there, but she doesn't quite remember it. Well, she will. Monkey sounds are all around the attic as the father and two kids are looking around for stuff. Greg ends up getting killed, as I said. Deborah really wants to save this place. Again, I wonder if they could needle you further as to who the killer is. So, there's names on the bottom of some of these monkeys, such as Charlie. Charlie turns out to be one of the missing kids that Jenny found when she was doing some research, and especially when she broke into the study. And Deborah, ended up seeing, the monkey stuff as a kid. Gee, wonder. And we end up seeing, getting a little more exposition. In fact, actually, we just got exposition poured on us like butter on a fucking roll, like by Marshall and Jenny and then by the others earlier on. As Jenny searches for answers, well, the missing people basically lead her to realize that somebody from this hotel was committing the murders. There were 3 people at that hotel. There were 3 people. Unless the dad turned suddenly sour, the dad of the girl and the wife that, stopped over there. It leads her to room 4. Room 4 was pretty much the main room where all this murder happened. And now that shit's going south and everything, and they're the only 4 left, gee, I wonder who the killer is. Sorry, it's fine. Follow me to the basement. So then, they just have the actress playing Deborah just dump exposition. She wanted friends, and she didn't want people to leave. So anytime somebody showed up with a kid, she wanted to be their friend. She wanted them to be their friend. But you can't make friends in a day. So she wanted to keep them. So, yeah, the faces would get attached to the goddamn monkeys. Badly, I might add. I don't necessarily... I mean, you would leather them so you could shrink the skin and everything, but it still looked silly. And... yeah, that's pretty much it. That's really the explanation right there. And again, this might have been horrifying. It might have been hilarious if it wasn't so bone serious with a goofy premise like this. And it also takes way too long to reveal the fact that, yes, it was obviously Deborah, whatever, from the very beginning. That she was going to somehow factor into this whole thing. It was probably one of the grandparents doing the killing, or maybe it was Deb. I don't really fucking know or care at this point. So they would, basically, she would take care of the kids, and the grandparents would take care of the parents. And she ends up killing her husband because her husband wanted to leave. She has the key in her pocket, by the way, and is not bound determined to make sure her kids don't leave. She stabs Marshall in the leg, I assume. I stopped caring well before this. I'm sorry, but again, nowhere near the worst thing I've seen, nowhere near the most boring thing I've seen, but it started to grate on me because the characters were really bad. And horrendous finish. there's all these chemicals for making leather stuff and also for, I assume, embalming people. Or because it's a horror movie, we just have to have a basement full of chemicals to set shit on fire. Which is what Jenny ends up doing. Jenny ends up going to get something while Marshall, who didn't hit the mother with anything, shoved her off, and then suddenly is being attacked by the mother and say, "Get a knife or something." It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Jenny ends up deciding the bright idea is to pour chemicals on the monkey and set them on fire. Set it on fire, and then she sets more on fire. And there's just a fire pit over here, it's gravel area, just right over here in the goddamn basement. And Deb's freaking out and everything, my friends. And then the spirits start flying. All these monkeys. Were the spirits trapped in there the whole time from their faces? I don't care. And then she shoves her into the goddamn fire. And Deb burns. And then the kids escape. And then the Charlie monkey starts doing symbol stuff. Because it survived. Good fire effects, by the way, Asylum. Jeez, it's nice to see you threw about 2 pennies towards those. Look, I'm sorry. It was not good. It was a terrible movie. It's just nowhere near as the bottom of the barrel that I've seen. I have seen some people say that. And I know that there are people that might find some humor in this. I tried. I didn't. Outside of the opening, the reveal took way too long. Ironic, given the fact that it was basically just it was a 90-minute movie, but it just was, it was so obvious it was Deb. Even a reveal like, oh, okay, and oh, we still have way too much time here. We should have rushed to the conclusion. So yeah, I'm sorry. I put a review on Letterboxd. I, again, do not wish ill upon the cast or crew. But when a movie's bad, I gotta say something. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Ritlin. Until we see the monkey killer again, happy trails to you.